A dog walks into a room with 10 people and settles right at your feet. A baby in the grocery store locks eyes with you and just won't look away. You think that's a coincidence? It's not. It's a diagnosis. Your body is broadcasting a biological signature that 99% of adults have lost the ability to read, but that animals and young children can pick up on in an instant. This isn't some new age theory. This is raw, biological data. It's the absence of a certain noise that most nervous systems constantly put out, the sound of neediness. Neuroscience is just now beginning to map this phenomenon, and what they're finding doesn't point to a flaw. It points to a rare form of internal coherence, one that our modern world simply labels an anomaly. They don't understand it because their own biological signal has been corrupted. Think about it, the biology of approval. The average person is living in a state of constant dissonance, a neurological performance designed for one thing, to be accepted. The calculated posture, the calibrated smile, the voice modulated just right to be pleasing. Every single gesture is a broadcast that screams, "Approve of me, validate me." It's a state of biological instability, a frequency of neediness that repels anything pure, anything instinctual. Animals and children, operating on a primal sensory level, read that static for what it is, a sign of danger, of inauthenticity. They recoil from the noise and are drawn to the silence. So what the world calls normal is actually a low-grade fever of insecurity that has simply become the baseline. Your system, on the other hand, refuses to send out that signal. What makes you feel invisible or strange in social settings is your biological coherence. The signal you're broadcasting doesn't ask for anything. It simply is. That's the sign of a self-sufficient nervous system, one that doesn't need external validation to regulate itself. It's the low dissonance signature that primal instincts recognize as safety and power. Science has a name for the genetic basis of this trait, and a recent study revealed something about brains like yours that contradicts everything you've been told. What they discovered is the proof that you're not strange. You are biologically stable in a world that has become addicted to instability. But before you can learn to wield this power, you need to see the irrefutable scientific proof that you're not just imagining things. What I'm about to tell you isn't an opinion, it's biophysics. That social theater most people perform in isn't just a psychological act, it's a broadcast of noise. Researchers at the HeartMath Institute in California mapped the human electromagnetic field and discovered something that changes the entire game. The heart's field is up to 5,000 times more powerful than the brain's. While the average person's mind is telling lies to be accepted, their heart is broadcasting the chaotic truth of that lie. It's a signal of incoherence, an unstable vibration that every animal nervous system instantly decodes as danger. That dissonance is the scent of anxiety, of an unpredictability that repels any healthy organism. Your so-called social flaw, that refusal or inability to participate in this performance, is the very source of your strength. Because you don't waste energy projecting a false front, your system achieves a state of cardiac coherence. This isn't calm, it's power. Your field isn't broadcasting a need for approval, it's broadcasting a signal of absolute stability. To another mammal's nervous system, that doesn't register as friendship, it registers as safety. It's the absence of a threat. This isn't a metaphor, this has been observed in the lab. A 2018 study out of Stanford University looked at the effect of this coherence field on other organisms, and what they found was nothing short of revolutionary. They found a specific pattern, a coherence signature, emitted by people just like you, that literally silences the threat detection system in other mammals in seconds. But to understand what that pattern is and how you can use it, we first have to identify the noise your system is naturally wired to filter out, the dissonance the rest of the world calls normal. Now that you've seen the proof, let's talk about the sickness your biology is immune to. Most people are living through a silent epidemic. It's called performative normality. It's the chronic need to filter every gesture, every word, every glance, not to actually communicate, but to extract validation. It's a low-stakes theater where everyone is just looking for approval, sending out mixed signals to mask their own deep-seated insecurity. And your biology recognizes this for what it truly is, a sickness. This comes at a devastating biological cost, one that science is now able to measure: chronic cortisol production that ages the brain, constant neural static that blocks deep thinking, a cardiac incoherence that drains your energy at the source. The modern world isn't sick because it's complex. It's sick because it's performative. And your biology, being more finely tuned, simply refuses to play the game. That exhaustion you feel after a social event isn't weakness. It's your biology handing you a damage report. Your nervous system isn't just tired, it's registering the cacophony of meaningless signals as a direct threat to your integrity. While the average brain chases the cheap dopamine of approval, yours identifies that chase as a behavioral pathogen. That's why you feel so out of place. It's not that you don't like people. It's because your psychological immune system is too powerful to tolerate the infection of superficiality. Your difficulty with socializing isn't a personality flaw. It's a biological refusal to participate in that degradation. You're not antisocial. You are immune to normosis. Your body rejects the sickness of being average. Now, let's decode the exact biology of your immunity. While the social brain is burning through fuel, constantly tracking hierarchies and crafting the right response, yours shifts into a state of radical efficiency. This isn't a glitch in your system. This is your factory setting. Your prefrontal cortex, your brain's central command, isn't offline. It's simply been rerouted, pointed inward for deep processing, instead of burning out trying to calculate the perfect social reply. And the result is an immediate shift in your neurochemistry. The production of cortisol, the hormone of social stress, plummets. In its place, your biology favors acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter for focus and deep learning. You're not disengaged from the world. You're processing it on a level that social performance makes impossible to reach. That's why your presence can feel like a vacuum to people who operate on the surface. They're searching for the noise of validation, and instead, they find the silence of pure observation. These are two fundamentally incompatible biological states. But the real breakthrough isn't in the brain, it's in the field your body broadcasts. This neurochemical calm shifts your heart into a state of high coherence, a phenomenon we can actually measure through what's called heart rate variability. This isn't poetry, it's physics. The electrical pattern of your heart becomes mathematically harmonious. It's a biological signature of a complete absence of threat and profound internal stability. While the overperforming brain is broadcasting electrical noise, yours is sending out a clean signal, a frequency of pure safety, and it's this signal that repels the superficial and attracts the genuine. Truth doesn't need a performance, and your body knows it. This is why a complete stranger will spill their entire life story to you while waiting for coffee. Their limbic system recognizes your frequency of coherence and simply drops its defenses. And this is where we solve the mystery of your quiet magnetism. Remember that Stanford study? Researchers exposed animals to two distinct human electromagnetic fields, one from people in a high-performance state, their hearts in electrical chaos, and another from people in a state of cardiac coherence. The first field triggered the animal's stress system. The second one, your natural signal, flooded their brains with oxytocin. You don't draw animals in or earn the trust of strangers by just being nice. You're drugging them with biological safety. Their threat detection system senses your coherence and instantly shuts down. You now understand the biology behind your natural state. The next step is to learn how to turn this frequency of safety into a strategic weapon to navigate a world filled with noise. So, what's the operational blueprint for this biology? First, the most counterintuitive directive you'll ever receive: stop trying to play the game. Your power isn't found in learning the rules of the social theater, but in adopting the posture of a scientist, observing the ecosystem. Your biology isn't a flaw keeping you from fitting in. It's a high-precision filter that lets you decode reality itself. What they call social invisibility is actually your greatest strategic advantage. While the actors are on stage, obsessed with their lines, you're in the darkness of the front row, seeing the strings that move the puppets. You see the micro-expressions, the hesitations, the hidden motives that the collective trance masks. Your function isn't to perform, it's to understand the system on a level the players themselves are blind to. Use this biology as a silent weapon, especially in conflict. The default reaction is to raise your energy to match your opponent's. You do the opposite. You lower it, intentionally. You become a vacuum of coherence. The human nervous system is hardwired for synchrony. Faced with your biological stability, the other person's chaotic nervous system will instinctively search for an anchor, and it will lock onto you. They will have no choice. You don't win the battle by shouting louder. You win by becoming the center of gravity in the room, forcing reality itself to bend to your calm. They burn all their energy on performance. You conserve yours for observation and control. Animals and children are the biological validators of this state. They don't respond to your social status or the words you've rehearsed. Their nervous system reads yours directly. The dog that avoids everyone and lays its head in your lap isn't just being friendly, it's reacting to the coherence of your electromagnetic field. The child who stares at you in silence isn't being curious. They're recognizing a frequency that doesn't demand a performance. These aren't cute interactions. They're data. They are the proof that your true nature, when you stop fighting it, is the universal language of safety and truth. If this framework made sense to you on a biological level, not just an emotional one, it's because your nervous system already operates on these principles. You just didn't have the manual. If you've made it this far, this truth has already resonated within your nervous system. You're not maladjusted or broken. You're a biological decoder in a world of noise, and that's not a disadvantage, it's your greatest strategic advantage. If you identify with this kind of mind, the one that observes instead of performs, that senses the truth beneath the social theater, then you already belong here. The subscribe button is simply the formal confirmation that you've found your lab. That like isn't for my ego. Think of it as a signal flare. It helps this message find the others. The people who, just like you, desperately need to hear that there is nothing wrong with them. And since you now understand the biology behind your natural state, the next logical step is to master its application. The video appearing on your screen will teach you how to wield this coherence as a tool of silent influence to navigate and shape any social environment. If this video was a revelation, that one will be a revolution. Remember, you don't need to change who you are. You only need to understand who you are. And now, you do.